Hey everyone, I'm Sara Marshall, and today we have a very special guest to talk to, Patriots legend Tedy Bruschi, who is here on behalf of HeartMates. Welcome, Teddy. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me. I'm doing very well. Very excited about today.
Me too. So I have to mention because we are with Fansided, so we are fans first. Before I jump into my questions, I want to make sure to let you know that I'm very excited to meet you. It's an honor to meet you, and I'm not trying to age you, but I grew up watching you, and you are a huge reason why I'm a big Patriots fan. You're actually my mom's favorite player, so we were big Brewski
Thank you.
fans in the Marshall household. So very excited. Um, so, because you are a Patriots legend, as I said, most fans are going to have varied answers about what their favorite moment of your career was. It was at the beginning of what would be the 2 decade dynasty in New England. But I want to ask you, out of everything that you accomplished in your 13-year career, what would you say meant the most to you?
Well, that's a great question because there's a lot of championships to talk about, a lot of big games that we won and established, a long time of playing great football. But I think in my career, what I'm most proud of is probably my 2005 season when I came back from my stroke. Of course, I'm a huge advocate for stroke and heart disease awareness, which is a big reason why I'm here today. But coming back to play football after that has I've learned that it was much more impactful even now than winning championships because of for all of the stroke survivors out there that have had to go through so much for their own little comebacks. For me to come back like that and still play 4 years was very special to me. And the statistics weren't very important to me, Sarah, but I did track when I retired. I tracked how many tackles I had after my comeback, and it was 366. So I made
Wow.
366 tackles as a stroke survivor, and that's something I'm so proud about. And that's probably my most impactful thing that I've ever done in my career. Yes.
I think a lot of people would probably agree with you. I think that was, it's something that I think people still remember today. I remember when you came back, it was my birthday. So it's
Really?
a big day for me. Yeah, I was just talking about it with somebody and I was like, I'm pretty sure he came back on my
So your
birthday. And you
October
did.
30, your October 30 is at 30th or 31st. So
30th.
you're
Yeah.
October 30th,
Yes.
30th. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a big day in our house too. Um, but I want to mention this too. So you guys are on the historic run, as you said, in the 2000s, and Tom Brady's in the news. Everyone's going to ask you about Tom Brady. He's talking about how he wants to maybe come out of retirement. But I want to ask if you have any funny, interesting stories about playing with Brady that maybe you haven't shared before.
Well, I think a lot of this, I mean, there's so many stories. I mean, even the one that recently of Tom saying that he could still come back and play. Um, I think he'll say that in 10 years from now too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just letting someone in terms of stories about who Tom thinks he thinks anything is possible at any time. So, I mean, I remember him telling me he wanted to play till he was 45, and I laughed in his face, Sarah. So I didn't it's possible. And now he's saying he might come back. I really believe that's probably not going to happen. But his mind is one that will never change. And next year, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I truly believe he still thinks that he will be better than like the quarterbacks in the NFL. That's just who he is.
And he's probably not wrong, right? I mean, like
I,
I know a lot of
he could
a
go out
lot of
there and find it.
Patriots fans and even people who didn't like him throughout his career are like begging for him to come in. So it's kind of an interesting turn of events, I would say,
Yeah.
since he left. So since you mentioned the 2005 season, which obviously, as I said, stands out for you and it stands out for a lot of Patriots fans and Tedy Bruschi fans, I wanted to ask and mention first all that you accomplished in your career because I feel like it would be unfair to not mention that. So we see that you earned the second team All Pro twice in 2003 and 2004, a Pro Bowl in 2004, Comeback Player of the Year in 2005, and because it seems like what the Patriots were accomplishing during that time was kind of underappreciated, I would say then. And even now, I mean, Patriots fans go to bat for you guys still, and I'm one of them. What would you say helped keep you guys motivated? Because I think the defense was kind of that was more so what was underappreciated.
Yeah, I think we had a unique way of continually pushing each other in a respectful slash maybe comical way. Because I mean, okay, you go through '01 and you win it. '02, you don't make the playoffs. '03, you win it. '04 comes around, and it's like, you're dealing with a lot of guys that know how to win. And then even going all the way to the '07 team where you got Super Bowls in your back pocket, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, how do you stay motivated? You just have to constantly get motivation and be pushed by someone you respect and someone that you play next to. Vrabel, McGinnis, Pfeiffer, Sayal, guys like that in the linebacker room, how we would just constantly ride each other, even though we were in the league for over a decade, and you think that you know it all and you have everything figured out. But to have the humility to you sort of think that, you know what, I don't have it all figured out. And if you push me, I'm going to accept it. So it takes a little bit of humility to understand that there's still more work to be done, that you don't have it figured out. And it takes a special teammate and a special player to understand that, because there's winning and then there's consistently winning. And a lot of people don't understand that there is a huge difference than winning one Super Bowl than winning 3, 4, 5, 6 like the Patriots did.
Right. And I think the good thing about that is it's kind of a good message to apply to life in general. And I think that's probably why, I mean, outside of just being a fan of football, and winning the championships, there's a lot that people can take away from the message that you guys had, the do your job and stuff like that. Like you can take that and apply that to your day-to-day life, which I think is cool. It's a different way to relate to the game, because you can't really relate to a guy taking a tackle or Tom Brady throwing a touchdown. You can't really relate to that in a day-to-day life. So
it's hard because you have to forget your past successes, and it's hard not to celebrate it every single day. It's just hard not to think that, man, we've already won like 2, 3 Super Bowls. I mean, it's like, wow, we're awesome. To try to humble yourself to realize there's still work to be done.
Yeah. Because that would be enough for a lot of people, like they want to win one and they did it, but you guys were like, no, we're going to keep going. And that's what made it so legendary.
Yeah, the special guy that we had, it was never enough. And, Tom ended up leading the way later on his career by saying, of course, always saying his favorite championship is going to be the next one. And that let us all know that it's about winning, not just 1, 2, but we need to keep winning more.
Yes, exactly. So I've mentioned the 2005 season a couple times, but with something, that Patriots fans think about when they think about your career. So I want to make sure that I mention your partnership with HeartMates, which is why you're here today. And it revolves around people with heart conditions. So I wanted to ask if you could tell us how you got involved and what made it important for you to be a part of the HeartMates team.
Yeah, to be here with Abbott and also the first drafting of the HeartMates team. I actually had after my stroke, I had a heart procedure to repair a hole in my heart. I have an Abbott device in my heart as we speak, and I've had ever since 2005 in my heart procedure. So I have an emotional and close connection to Abbott, and the HeartMates team is just so special because we're drafting 11 people today that have heart conditions that they have overcome in their lives, and we're really giving them a community. Well, we call it a team. All right. HeartMates is a team now of 11 people. It's our first ever team that we're drafting that now can come together and share stories about everything they've been through. Their caregivers can now meet each other and sort of compare notes about what was it like with you and what was it like with you. And I think that's important to do. It's something that I've done in my foundation at Tedy's team, and to know that HeartMates is now sort of forming. This is special because the NFL draft is coming up, and it's just so perfect to do it this week. Prior to the draft, that you're drafting a team of people that now are going to form a team that's going to be basically it's a lifelong contract, and it's super exciting what Abbott's doing.
Well, I find it very admirable, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to chat with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to see everything that you have to say about the draft next week because it's a big one for the Patriots.
I'll be there. Yeah, it's exciting times for the New England Patriots. I can't
It
wait to see
is.
it.
Me too. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, and go
Thank you, Sarah.
Pats.